Hey everybody, I'm Mama Baird and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be trying a new recipe for me. I don't know if you guys have heard it before, but it's called burrito in a jar. And that's where you take all the ingredients that are normally in a burrito. We got beans, we got rice, we got onions, peppers, tomatoes, and meat. And we're going to mix that all together. Well, we're going to layer it in a jar in a certain order, and then we're going to top it all with beef broth, and we're going to pressure can it. And then that way when it's done, it's got all of your proteins, starches, veggies, everything in there. And you just put it on a tortilla, heat it up, maybe put some cheese on it, and you got a burrito. I thought that was a really cool recipe. This is technically a Rebel Canner recipe because it has rice in it. A lot of people do this though. If you're not comfortable doing this, obviously don't do it. But I've seen a lot of people do it. It sounds really super convenient, especially for camping. You know, it's Montana here. We do a lot of camping here. So I'm going to give it a try, and I thought you guys would like to come along and see how I do it and possibly try it for yourself. So let me get you in close and I'll show you what I got going on. I have 14 wide mouth quarts is what I'm going to be using. That way I can get it in there easier, and each canner can hold 7 quarts. So I'm going to be doing 14, might as well do a full load. Over here we have the bell pepper. I have a combination of yellow, red, and orange. That's just what I had in hand. You can also probably use frozen bell peppers if you'd like. Dry beans, I got pinto beans here, and then I got a bag of red beans. If I run out, I'll use that. Brown rice, it does specify you want brown rice. And then it called for Rotel. I don't have Rotel right now. So I did a can of just regular diced tomatoes and then a can of fire roasted, and I mixed them together. So that's what this is right here. Ground beef. You can use any kind of ground meat. I happen to have beef here. Chopped up some fresh onions. Again, you could use frozen if you had those. Taco seasoning, salt, a couple things of homemade beef broth. And then if I use all those up, then I got some turkey broth here. I have a lot of that. I'm going to switch to that. And then my handy dandy measuring cup. Mr. Archer Teacher. Here is the recipe I printed off. I will also link this down below so you can see. And I'm just gonna start assembling here. So the very first thing you're gonna do is your beans. I'm gonna do one in the order that it goes in, and then I'll do the rest later so you guys don't have to reuse it all. So this is my ½ cup measuring cup. My husband got me this R2D2 measuring set. Like, here's the tablespoons. Oh no, his arm. Here's like the tablespoons, the teaspoons. This is ½ of a cup. This is a whole cup, and it just kind of breaks apart into the little cups. I mentioned the 3rd cup one. But I thought this was the greatest gift ever, and it just made me love him so much when we were our very first Christmas together when we were dating, because I was obsessed with Star Wars, and he knew that, and I love baking, so he got me a Star Wars baking kit. I just thought that was the greatest thing ever, because he really understood me and what I needed and what I would like. All right, so ½ a cup dried beans, ¼ cup of rice, and then you're going to do 1/3 of a cup of onions, 1/3 of a cup of your peppers. Then I got 1 cup of my ground beef. This is just pre-cooked ground beef and drained. 4 tablespoons of our tomatoes. And then 1 tablespoon of taco seasoning. ½ a teaspoon of salt. You can use any kind of salt as long as it's not table salt. And then just gonna top the rest with beef broth here. Probably will need to use my turkey stock. Just 2 1-inch headspace. I'm just gonna very gently debubble. You don't want to mess up the layers, but you want to, you can see you're getting some bubbles out there, especially between the beans and the rice. And there's the first one. So I'm gonna keep going and I'll show you when I'm all done. All right guys, I got it all done. Got our pinto beans, rice, peppers and onions, beef, tomatoes, and broth. I only got 3 with beef broth. The rest are turkey, which is okay. I just happen to have more turkey than beef broth, so I wanted to use that up. And then I did do a couple of red beans in a few of them. They are all debubbled at a 1-inch headspace. So now we're taking our paper towel with vinegar and you're going to wipe the rims here. Make sure you get any kind of grease off of that. Alright, after that we put our lid on and our ring. Just till it's fingertip tight. Into our canner. Now I don't have, this is just room temperature water and I do not have it on because you want to start all of this at the same temperature since we're doing a cold pack pretty much. Alright, so we're gonna get these 2 loaded and I'll show you what we do. Alright, I got my canners loaded with my 14 quarts. I'm gonna turn these on high. Alright guys, I got my canners on, got the water going. Now we're going to let this go until it starts venting, which venting means it's just going to come out of this valve, steam is, and you're going to let that go for 10 minutes before we put our weight on. But it will probably take at least 30 minutes for these to come up to temperature since everything was cold. Alright, this is what I was talking about venting. You see all that steam coming up? So once they get to this point is when we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes. Alright, our timer just went off, so all you do is just take your weight and slide it on. Nothing to be intimidated about. And there you go. And then we're going to start our timer as soon as it starts rocking. Then we'll set it for 90 minutes. You do 90 minutes for meat times when it's quarts and 75 for pints. So since we have quarts in here, we're going to be doing it for 90 minutes. So as soon as those start rocking and jiggling, I'm going to set my 90-minute timer. And I'll bring it back when we're all done. Alright everybody, the timer went off. All I did was shut off the heat and it's been probably about 40 minutes or so and it has cooled down. The gauge reads 0. The pin has dropped. So all I'm going to do is remove the weight and then you're just going to crack your lid just a little bit. Now it's eager to just take it off and pull them out because you want to see what they look like. But trust me, it's better just to kind of wait, let them cool down and come to temperature. And you will be rewarded by your patience by having a product that does not siphon. So let them cool down. I am so eager to see what these look like though. So I will bring you back and you can see them when I pull them out. So this lid that I had, that was a no label one, buckled. So I'm thinking that's one of the cheap ones. I had gotten some used jars from a lady and she had these lids on them. My first time experiencing that. Figured I probably should have changed them. These 2 in here have also buckled. A little bit of siphoning, that's what you see on top of that water. But I tried pulling this one out and it was just bubbling and bubbling like crazy like it is now. So that can mean it's either not going to seal, it might have a crack in the jar, or it just might be really, really hot still and it's not ready to come out of the canner yet. So I'm going to let those 2 cool. And then I also set, now this one is the same lid, but it didn't buckle. But that one did. Oh. Well, it just unbuckled. So maybe it'll fix itself as it cools down. We'll see. Hey everybody, so I decided to go ahead and cook up some of this burrito in the jar for dinner. Wanted you guys to see just how easy it can come together for a dinner. This is one of the ones that had the buckled top while it was pressure canning and it went back in place and it's sealing just fine. So they worked out. I'm glad. I was a little worried, but glad it worked out. So let's get this in a pan, heat it up, and let's whip up some dinner. Alright, Here's where, as soon as I open it, smells really good. It's got a little oil down to get my pan's a little dry. So it's got oil down. This is the one with red beans in it. I'm just gonna let that heat up for a bit. This is heating up pretty nicely. It's only been probably about a minute. It's already pretty hot. I've tasted it and determined that it needs a little bit of salt. So I'm gonna add some salt to it. I'm gonna give it another try, see if that helped. Sure did. And that's it. It's like already thick. So I'm gonna turn it off and then heat up my tortillas. So I'm just gonna add some cheese on the bottom. This is just some sharp cheddar that I happen to have. And a couple of scoops of the filling here. Okay, and then to roll, I'm gonna get it kind of in the center, tuck these, roll and flip. And ourselves some nice little hand tortillas here. And that's all we're having. Literally under 5 minutes, we have ourselves some dinner. It's so good, guys. You gotta give this recipe a try. If this is the kind of content you enjoy watching, kind of home cooking, pantry cooking, canning, then I hope you'd consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mama Baird, and I'll catch you next time.